Hi everyone, I'm Jay, and today I want to talk about credible sources. One of the things I look for when evaluating a source is its credibility. Credibility is the quality of being trusted and believed in. There are three pillars of credibility. They are reputation, objectivity, and accuracy. With the first pillar, we're asking, does the source have a reputation, or does the source have an affiliation with some larger organization that we can look into the reputation of? And then, what is that reputation? This pillar, by definition, pushes us in the direction of sources that are well known, and therefore probably sources that have been around for a long time, or else they've made a big impact in a short amount of time. In general, the longer you're around, the more well known you can become. It's not like everyone in the world has to recognize your source immediately when you give your oral citation. However, all audience members who are a part of the community of people who care about your topic really should recognize it immediately. For example, not everybody in the world knows what ESPN is, but nearly all sports lovers do. Not everyone knows what IMDb is, but nearly all film lovers do. Not everyone knows what FIDE is, but nearly all chess lovers do. The three sources I just mentioned would be good sources for speeches on relevant topics. Notice, too, that in all these areas of interest, sports and film and so on, there are a bunch of other lesser-known sources to choose from as well. I'm referring, for example, to blogs written by someone who is not a public figure, or a Substack by someone who is not a household name, or a smaller organization that the average person might not have heard of before. The more well-known a source is, the less work you have to do in your oral source citation to help the audience understand what or who the source is. The less well-known the source is, the more work you, as the speaker, must do to help the audience understand that the source you are using is credible. Pillar number 2 is objectivity. Is there a clear bias in the source? If there's lots of bias, you should use a different source. A lot of news outlets these days have strong ideological political leanings, way over to the left or way over to the right, and that can be problematic from an objectivity point of view. Now, I'm not saying we can ever find sources that are completely non-biased, but we must make an effort to neutralize bias as much as possible, and we must expect the sources we trust to do the same. The final pillar is accuracy. You've got to make sure, on some baseline level, that the information you're citing is correct and factual. One way to do this is called triangulation. If you find a claim made in one place, you should be able to verify that claim by finding the same claim made in 2 or 3 other places. If you find a source that says something but you can't find anyone else saying the same thing, then that's a red flag. This is all part of the research process. Never just uncritically pick the first result your search engine or chatbot shows you without doing your due diligence. If you can do all these things, if your source's reputation passes the smell test, if you can mitigate or at least be transparent about the bias complicating the source's objectivity, and if you can confirm the accuracy of the source, then you know you've got a good source. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for listening, and happy speaking.